Happy 4th of July, kids. It is generally on the 4th of July, I try to celebrate my birthday with family, and I invite them out here to my country estate, where we have a great big old fireworks show, and I usually cook a ton of ribs, and, I have a couple of bottles of rum in the freezer there for birthday shots, and etc., etc. And as you can see, I am sitting in the middle of a monsoon, and it's probably not going to let up for a while. So I already called all the people that were on their way already and told them just turn around and go home. Happy birthday. Anyway, I have a beer to share. The fourth beer of the celebration month of my birthday, and that is uh, Days Like This Oak Aged Irish Red. And man, is it dark in here. This is from Lion's Tail Brewing, which I'm a big fan of. And yes, it is still very dark in here, even though you probably can see, well, probably a little bit better than I can. So, this has got their mentioned before, their fabulous little taste wheel that tells you what you should expect in the beer. And this says that it should be malty, toasty, and smooth, and not so much. It's really hard to read in here because it's very dim. Not so much the caramel or the roasty, or the oak. So less of that and more of the other. So um, it is so dark in here, guys. I need some sort of mini light in order to see. And I don't have a mini light handy. So Harris Otter, sorry, Maris Otter flaked barley. Looks like Bravo hops. It appears they have dark green writing on black, and I can't see a thing. Conditioned on whiskey soaked toasted oak spirals. Yum! And Lion's Tail is an award winning brewery and tap room in downtown Neenah and midtown Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. We created over 70 new releases every year. Truly something for everyone. I always like their beer, seriously. And I'm glad I'm done with that lantern. Yes. So, let's just crack this thing open and give it a pour. Ah, not that I'm that thirsty. It seems my dehydration is taken care of. So, uh, for some reason, this beer wants to run down the side of the can, and it's only my holding. All right, it stopped now. Only my holding the can against the glass firmly was keeping it from just pouring in my lap. Unfortunately, that made the beer a little bit foamy, so I can't get it all out of the can. So I'm going to leave that for last impressions, and I will take my first impressions from here. So let's very carefully smell so that I don't get foam up my nose. Ooh, that is smelling nice and hoppy. Yeah, most of what I'm getting is the hops, and I'm gonna have to like pause you guys and get a flashlight so I can read the can to you guys because it really they always put out such great beers. The problem is that they print it as if we're all standing in the sunlight. So I mean, dark green on black text, really. So anyway, I'm just gonna duck into this and see what it's like. And I'll pause it and I'll get a flashlight. Oh, that is hoppy. That is not super hoppy, but hoppy. It's much more hops than. This reminds me of a Scotch ale. Just right off the bat, it reminds me of a Scotch ale. Yeah, it has a lot of the same characteristics as a Scotch ale. It says you were looking for smooth, toasty, and malty. It's definitely malty. Uh, I don't know if I would describe it as smooth. I will say that it's very tasty and it's very crisp on the mouth. Not so clean. The flavor lingers, but it's not badly lingering. So, if you're wondering what that noise is, that is the rain hitting my little metal drum. I apologize if it's overwhelming to you guys. So, um, I'm going to take a slow swallow and see if I can describe it a little bit more in detail for you guys. Because this is a complex beer. All right, in the mouth, it immediately sits bitter in the mouth. It's not so much reacting to me. It's not effervescent. It's not like constantly outputting carbonation, if you will. So the bitter has a chance to settle in. Once you swallow it, it's pretty much washed away. The bitterness. It's very tasty, but the bitterness is the last thing in your mouth, and it's a nice bitter stuff. This reminds me of a Fuller's extra special bitters. It's a nice beer if you've ever encountered it in the wild. I used to get it on tap at a place down in Wrigleyville, right around Wrigley Field, called the Duke of Perth. It was a fine bar. I hope it's still there. This is a delicious beer. I don't know if it's a beer for drinking all night. And now I have this little bit still in the can. I'm going to pour this in because I don't want to waste. All right, no sediment. No sediment. Okay. So let's give you a gander at that candor again. It is beautiful. I've always loved the lion's tail art on their cans. You can probably read that better than I, but I don't know if you can read the green writing or not. That is a little bit more difficult for me. So, speaking of which, let's see what we can find. I'm back. Okay, I found a headlamp. I'll try not to put it in the camera because it's one of those, ooh, kill you with the lumens ones. So, all right. That is just green decoration. This one is, okay, malt is Maris Otter flaked barley. Hops is Bravo. Specialty conditioned on whiskey soaked toasted oak spirals. And as I said, smooth, toasty, and malty. Not so much oak, roasty, and caramel. And that's it. 5.1% alcohol by volume. This is a very nice beer. I am enjoying it a lot. Nina Tosa, which is funny. if you're familiar with Wisconsin, you know that there's a lot of towns there named after Indian names, and Wauwatosa is one of them. And I've always been so happy to know that I personally know how to pronounce all most of those names in Wisconsin, which are oh, I can't even remember the Indian tribe. I'm so bad at this. So, but anyway, let's talk about the beer. Beer, Rich. Beer. Very tasty. I am enjoying this a lot. If you like the hoppy beers, if you were an IPA fan, I would pick one of these up and give it a try because this is a singular hop without being overbearing, and it's very much like that fabulous Scotch ale flavoring. So, and I'm loving this oak aged Irish red. Days like this, cool name too, especially in light of my fabulous monsoon party. So, anyway, I will see you guys next time I got an awesome beer to share. Thanks.